In this video, we're going to take all of the bones on the right side of our armature and we're going to mirror them over to the left side. We're then going to connect the armature up to our human character. So this is what I would like you to do. Go into edit mode and then select all of the bones that represent the right hand side of your model. So I'm going to press C and just select all of the bones on the right side. I've selected the master control bone by accident, so I'm just going to use the middle mouse button on my mouse just to deselect the master control bone. Confirm that I have everything from the right side selected. Then I'm going to go to options and select X-axis mirror. This should be the only option available if you are in edit mode for your armature. So I'm going to left click to enable that. Then I'm going to hit the right mouse button to bring up the armature context menu and select symmetrize. What you should now see is that all of your bones that you had selected before have been mirrored over to the other side. Make sure to test these new bones to make sure that they are working correctly. So go into pose mode and start by testing the master control. Correct. Hip control. Good. Try the control bones for both legs. They both appear to be working correctly. And then we have the hands, which both appear to be working as well. Okay, so everything seems to be in order for our armature. If we check any of the bones that are on the left hand side, then we will see that they have the same names as their right hand side equivalents, but instead of .r, they now read as .l. So we have lower leg .l, upper leg .l, etc. That means that everything is in place and it's time to connect our armature to our rig. So this is it. This is the ultimate test. Go into objects mode. Select your human character first, then select your armature second with shift left click. Then hit Control and P. Now do not set the parent just to the object. We have additional options here for the armature to form. You can choose any of these, but the easiest one to get started with is automatic weights, which is going to assign weights to the various parts of your model based on the location of the bones in your armature. So left click there, and initially you won't see anything has changed. But if we select the armature and then go into pose mode, if we take this hand control bone and grab and move it, you can see that we are now moving the model itself. So we can manipulate the pole targets as well as the control bones to reposition the different parts of our model. So now we can create a variety of poses for our model depending on how much geometry is available and also depending on how the weights have been applied. Now we're not going to be going through weight painting in this class, but just to see what it looks like, if we select our object, so if we select our mesh object and then go into weight painting, then you can see that most of the object is blue apart from the lower leg in this case, and that's actually because the last selection was for our lower leg bone. And just as a very quick example of what this all means, basically blue means no influence and red means total influence. So you can, with the weight paint mode enabled, you can left click over vertices and you will see that the influence on those vertices for that selected bone increases as you continue to left click over those selected vertices. I'm not going to go into too much detail there, but that's just a general idea of how weight painting works. So you would manipulate the values here in weight painting mode to adjust how you want the bones to affect the geometry. For now though, we've done exactly what we needed to do. We've created a rig, and we are now able to use that rig to create various poses for our model. One last thing before we finish, there are two different types of position for our rig. So if we go into pose mode, the two options that we have if we go to our object data properties are pose position, which is the position that we have created by moving all of our control bones, and then the rest position, which was the original location of all of the bones for our armature. If you want the pose position to match the rest position, then you can do so by just hitting Alt G, R and S to make sure that it is all repositioned back to how it was in the rest position. This brings our class on creating a human character rig in Blender. I hope you've enjoyed it, guys, and I will hope to see you in the next class.